Welcome to Spell Speak Studio. The words we'd learn in this video are proliferate, prolix, and propitiate. Proliferate, meaning increase or spread rapidly or excessively. Maya lived in a tranquil village where the flowers blossomed beautifully each spring. One year, however, wild vines began to proliferate in her garden. Despite her best efforts to clear them, they continued to proliferate, taking over her once lush bed of marigolds. She asked Rohan for help, and together they worked tirelessly. But the vines seemed to proliferate faster than they could remove them, spreading their reach over every plant. As their frustration grew, so did the vines, proliferating beyond the garden and into the nearby fields. Soon the entire village was overwhelmed. Maya then realized it wasn't the vines, but her anxiety that caused them to proliferate. Her tangled thoughts were the real issue needing careful tending. Prolix, meaning excessively long and wordy, of a person, piece of writing, etc. Anya loved listening to stories, but Rishi's tales were always prolix. Whenever she asked him to recount his adventures, he would start with a simple plot, but soon drift into prolix descriptions of irrelevant details. One evening, Anya asked for a story, and Rishi once again launched into a prolix account of his childhood. Minutes turned to hours, as his narrative became more prolix than ever. Anya, half asleep, nodded as Rishi continued, oblivious to her weariness. Finally, she interrupted. Rishi, maybe something shorter? He smiled, realizing his prolix habit. He paused, then whispered, Once upon a time, there was silence, and said no more. Anya blinked, surprised but grateful. It was his best story yet. Propitiate, meaning attempt to reconcile with, satisfy, or reduce the animosity of a person who is angry, offended, etc. Anjali and Karan had argued for hours, tension filling the air. Karan, wanting to make amends, tried to propitiate her with a heartfelt apology. I didn't mean to hurt you, he said softly, hoping to propitiate the anger in her eyes. Anjali stayed silent, her arms crossed, resisting his attempts. He brought her favorite flowers, but even they couldn't propitiate her mood. Desperate, Karen tried cooking dinner, hoping the gesture would finally propitiate her frustration. Anjali glanced at the meal, but still said nothing. Exhausted, Karen gave up, slumping into a chair. Moments later, Anjali smiled and whispered, You never had to propitiate me, Karen. I just needed time. Her forgiveness was always there, waiting,